بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning and welcome back to Mid Morning Talk, Women's Month edition here on Salam Media. Today's theme is Women Who Create. And when I say create, I don't just mean painting a masterpiece or writing a book. Creation is so much more than that. It's building something where there was nothing. It's imagining possibilities and then rolling up your sleeves and making them real. Sometimes it's about creating a business from scratch. Sometimes it's about making a movement, a space for others, or even a brand new way of thinking. And often it's about creating hope in yourself, in your community, and in the people around you. Every single day, women are doing exactly that, turning kitchens into bakeries, turning skills into careers, turning personal struggles into platforms for change. And they're doing it with a mix of courage, resourcefulness, and that special spark that makes people stop and say, wow, that's different. Today, the women you hear are proof that creativity isn't just an artistic skill, it's a life skill. It's how we adapt, how we grow, and how we leave something behind that's bigger than ourselves. So, if you've got an idea in your head or a dream in your heart, I hope this morning gives you the little push you need to bring it into the world. Because what you create might just be exactly what someone else been waiting for. So stay with me today until 1 p.m. We've got inspiring guests, so many stories, and we're just going to have a good time today, inshallah. So, it is time to welcome our very, very first guest. And this one is such a full circle moment for me. We've known each other for a while because before either of us even started doing the big things we're doing now, so it's just so surreal and it makes my heart so happy. I'm so happy to be sitting here with her on the show. She's young, she's creative, she's aesthetic, and she's got an eye for beauty that you can't teach because photography runs in her blood. No, literally. Her dad is also in the photography industry, and it's safe to say she's taken that passion and made it her own. Just fresh out of matric last year, she's already worked with some big names from Ems to Al Baraka Bank, capturing moments, events, and people in her signature style. From behind the camera, she's building a name for herself as a young woman in the creative industry, and I cannot wait for you to hear her story. Alia, welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum, Umamah. Jazakallah so much for having me.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for joining me. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. How are you feeling today?
I'm very nervous actually. Excited but nervous.
You know what? It is like that for everyone, including myself. So we'll be good, inshallah. Let's just get into our first question. So let's start with baby Alia. When did you first fall in love with photography?
So I fell in love with photography at an early age. I'd say around 8 or 9 years old, which was about 10 years ago. I got my first camera from my grandmother. It was a small digital camera, and I used to take it with me everywhere. When I say everywhere, it was everywhere from road trips to the mall, every single place. And I would just snap as I'm going, whether it was blurry, whether it was not aesthetic at all. And yeah, I fell in love with it from a very young age.
No, I love that. I think these are some things that you don't learn to do. You just fall in love with it, and it takes you on for the rest of your life. My next one is: was there ever a moment where you thought, "Yep, this is more than a hobby"?
So I got my first professional camera at the age of, I would say, 15. And from then, I would just like carry it to family events, weddings, whatever it was. And throughout my year 11 and 12 of school, which is 2023, 2024, I got more serious about it and took it up as a side job um, along with my schoolwork. And yeah, I would say that I turned it into more than a hobby in my late teens.
I love it. So basically, I think when we started following each other, I'll say like it's been like 2 years, maybe something like
I'd
that.
say so, yeah.
So around that time, you were still like not sure if it was going to be a hobby or a job, or were you like into the job part at that point?
No, at that point, I was just, I would say, experimenting and seeing whether I could make something out of it.
Okay, I see. So since
Mhm.
after my little stalking, I see that photography is in the family. Did your dad teach you everything, or did you also find your own style along the way?
So, as I've mentioned, I've always had a love for it. But my parents have been a huge part in me taking the next step, specifically my dad. And they've always told me that, you know what, if you want to do something, you should do something that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, so that you're not working a day in your life. And I'm sure a lot of people have said that to us in before. My dad specifically, he has taught me the ropes. As a beginner, I had no idea what I was doing with a professional camera, and there's a lot of settings that I was not familiar with. And my dad, he actually bought me my first camera, my first lens, my professional lens, and he taught me the ropes. So yes, he definitely played a huge part in me taking the first steps. But after a while, I would say that I found my own flow, and I've just been going with it since then.
Okay, I think we give Alia's dad a big round of applause because he helped you become this amazing woman that you are today, doing the work that you do. So thank you, Alia's dad. Moving on to finding your style. If you had to describe your photography aesthetic in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say that I go for a more elegant, minimal, and clean look. I love the white aesthetic. I don't like too much of like mixes and too many colors. I love the white aesthetic.
You know what? Yeah, yeah, I like that because I think also there's so many different genres. I've been seeing a lot of like new photographers, and there's a lot of colors, a lot of editing. So when you have something
Yeah.
clean and like just this white aesthetic, we love to see it. We really do. And you guys should check her Instagram out. I just feel like I had to put it there because it explains exactly what she's saying right now. So aesthetic, so clean. So everyone go follow Alia Captures, inshallah. My next one is, do you remember the first picture you took that made you feel proud?
The first picture that I've ever taken, uh, I would say that it was a picture of my cat actually. It was on a vintage Sony camera, and I borrowed it from my grandfather actually. And I was just like playing around with it, and I snapped a picture of my cats, and animals, I love them. So I posted it on my Instagram. It was one of my first ever pictures actually, and yeah, I would say that that was the first picture that made me feel proud and made me feel like, wow, I can actually do this.
You know what? I once had a cat. It was like it came from outside and it just kind of stayed in my house, and my brother adopted it and made it ours. And I was always like, you know what? Like we need to like clean this cat, take pictures of this cat because it was so cute. It did unfortunately pass away like I think a week or
Mm.
two later, but I still have a good picture of that cat. So it's somewhere. The picture is somewhere, but like my heart is feeling so now. I miss my cat. Moving on. Um, let's see. Your work. We say that it is inspired by like the aesthetic. We have your father who helped you in it, everything. But if there was like a professional influencer, someone like outside of your family that inspires your work, who would it be?
Mm, I wouldn't say that I have a specific person who inspired me. There are a few photographers on Instagram that I do follow, and I do love their style. But my inspiration, I would say, comes from the people that I photograph, and being able to tell their story and just give their moments a a frame. It also comes from nature. I love animals, I love wildlife, I love my cat, as I mentioned before. My gorgeous baby, she is my muse. I love her so much. And I just love capturing the beauty of the creation of our Lord.
You know what? Everything you say, I'm gonna say, I love that. I love that because you're giving me such good answers. I am really enjoying. You know, sometimes I talk to people and I don't get the energy I'm looking for, and I don't get the answers I was hoping to get from these questions. But you are giving me exactly that. So thank you so much. Speaking about like the people that you photograph and things like that, I know that you've worked and done gigs at the M's and Al Baraka Bank. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, so Alhamdulillah, both gigs were absolute milestones for me. The soccer amps in 2024 is where I started with these big projects. I went to photograph a local team from my town who was playing in the amps. And when I got home, I just I posted the pics, and Alhamdulillah, it reached the right audience. And a member of the Al Baraka team reached out to me, and they said that the netball amps was happening the week after. And if I could come and I could get some branding shots of, because Al Baraka is a huge sponsor of the AMPS tournament. And from that, a few months later, she reached out to me again regarding a corporate event that they were having, and if I could photograph a few of their staff. Yeah, so it just took off from there, and it was a huge opportunity for me, and I loved every moment of it.
That is so incredible. I think like something as big as Albarka. When I saw you with Albarka, I said, "Okay, Alia, we see the things that you're doing. We see you. We see you." How did it feel like walking into like this big corporate event, seeing all of these people, and you, small little Alia, had to go and take pictures of all these big people? How did that feel?
Oh my word, the moment I stepped into the building, it was at the Albarka branch in Durban. The nerves that hit me were crazy. I was shivering. My hands were holding the camera up and I was shaking. But I feel like they were very welcoming people, and they did not judge me for being young or for what I was doing. I was just going around and clicking, and alhamdulillah, it turned out really well. That so much so that they invited me again for another event later on, about a month or so later.
Alhamdulillah, that is like achievement after achievement. I can't even imagine. Like you're probably just screaming in your room because like what? But I really, really love the fact that you were able to use what you love doing and create such an amazing thing. Do you know what I mean? We will go for a break now, and then when we come back, we will continue this conversation.
Is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal South Africa's Breakfast Club aims to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend their day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner for only 5 Rand a day or 150 Rand a month, or visit our website www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal South Africa. Small change, big difference. When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists, with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Yasin Badat Financial Advisory. Are your financial goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of financial freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27333462071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
Abu Huraira narrated that he heard the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, "In black seed there is a healing for every disease except death." Experience the health benefits of this ancient blessed seed by using the Tib Black Seed range. Black seed assists the body to boost immunity, regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and act as a potent antioxidant. Experience a holistic approach to health by introducing the Tib Black Seed range into your routine. Available in capsules, pure cold-pressed oil, and a vapor rub. Trust Tib Health Sciences for quality black seed products. For more information, visit blackseed.co.za. Available at leading pharmacies.
Hey Gulam.
Yeah?
Did I return your lawnmower last month?
No, bye, you didn't.
Oh no. Now what'll I do? I wanted to borrow it again, man.
With Rendry Jewelers, you won't have to borrow or lend because the prices are so well trimmed on all gold and diamond jewelry. Alternatively, we could remake your old jewelry into a brilliant new design. Visit Rendry Jewelers at 151 Stevens Lamini Road, Musgrave, Durban. Rendry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
All right, we are back. The time is now 19 minutes past 11 a.m. and we are in conversation with A'aliya, who's been telling us all things photography, being young, being a girl, all things. And it's been a really, really good conversation so far. And I just want to get right back into it with a different shift of questions this round. So let's just get into it. My first one is, have you ever had a photo shoot go completely off track or hilariously wrong?
So this is actually quite an interesting question. Recently, I've actually done a photo shoot for a wedding. And during the family photos, so everyone gets on stage, they pose with the bride and the groom, and then the next group of people come through. So while I was doing that, my SD card of the camera got full. And the pictures were not taking because my memory card is full. And during the photo shoot that was happening, I had to stop and run to my camera bag and get an extra SD card, which I was panicking because I left people on stage when they are ready to take a picture. I was panicked. I was gone. So yeah, that was one of the problems that I've had recently.
Oh my God, I can imagine like you're there and like, everyone is looking at you and it's just like, and then you got this answer, this is so unprofessional. I would have died. I can't even lie, I would have died. You know, I do this work and I talk to people, but I just can't. The second someone can see that I'm messing up or something, now I'm like, okay, so I'm done, leave it then. Conversation is over. So I don't know how you dealt with it and how you deal with it. Everyday example, your SD card is full or anything, you know, the camera's not working today all of a sudden. Yeah, you can't just get out. Here I'm online. I can just say my Wi-Fi is not working. You are in front of the people. Okay, let's talk about being young in the industry, right? Do people ever underestimate you because you're young?
Sometimes I would say yes. I've had people who assume that I'm just helping out, or I'm just doing it for fun, and it's not an actual career for me, and that I'm not a photographer. Yeah, so I would say that I have been underestimated, and I have been taken for somebody that isn't being serious about what they're doing. But alhamdulillah, I'm getting through it, and I'm making something for myself.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I can, get with you on that one, because I'm a small little baby, and sometimes I find myself in these, these rooms with these big people, and I'm going there to go and talk my story. And all of the times I just like, oh, what are you talking about? What do you have to say? And I'm like, I'm here to talk about for the youth. I'm here to represent. You can't have a big auntie talking for the youth. Like, it doesn't make sense. But sometimes people just don't want you. So I think that that's why we need to be in these spaces. We need to take that step forward, especially as girls, as young. We need to go in the front lines and do all these things, because if we don't, who's going to do it? And they're going to continue to have that thought and that stigma that, okay, you guys just kids, you don't need to be doing these things. So I'm very proud of you, and I'm very proud of us as a people to be doing these things, going forward and doing what we love, making it our our business, making money from the things we like to do. And we're breaking barriers, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So my next one is, do you think being young gives you a creative edge?
Absolutely, yes. I feel like me being a young photographer, as young as I am, I'm more open to experimenting and adapting to the new technology, especially with the AI and all of the new things that we can do with editing in AI, as well as embracing like social media trends. So as a photographer, you have to be adapted to social media and all of the trends to be able to get your content out there to get the clients. And I feel like as someone as young as me, I'm familiar with the trends of nowadays, and it helps me and adds to my my business in that way.
Okay, talking about AI, do you think that AI is, people, we have people that are for AI, people that aren't for AI. So knowing that in your work, sometimes AI has to be used. What's your take on that?
I agree, 100%. I agree. I've used AI in a lot of my pictures actually. As aside from pictures, I've used it for emails, for helping me with questions regarding my camera. If my camera is not working, if there's a certain thing that I need help with, AI is a very useful tool, especially for editing pictures. Oh my word. I've taken multiple pictures where there have been people in the background or an unwanted object, and AI just makes it so much easier to remove these objects. I cannot imagine what photographers back in the day had to go through when they've had an unwanted object in the background.
I'm so happy you said that, because like when I do my graphic design too, it's like, okay, I do it, but sometimes I need AI to help me, create an image of this, and things like that. I can 100% say ChatGPT and me are like this. ChatGPT is my
Yes.
best friend. Because I think people abuse it sometimes. That is true. But if we're using it for our work, we're using it to help us in our daily lives, that's fine. So you know what? We are AI lovers here. If you're AI hater, don't say anything. Okay, just act like you never hear. Now, I think we have to talk about this topic because it's the reason for the show. The show is the Women's Month edition of Mid Morning Talk. So I want to ask you, what does Women's Month mean to you as a young woman in a creative field?
So Women's Month to me is a reminder to celebrate the incredible contributions of women to, especially those who break barriers in their fields. As a Muslim woman, I feel like it's also a time to reflect on the dignity and the value that Islam has placed upon us, a woman, long before the modern movements. It reminds me that our worth isn't determined by trends or societal norms, but by the role that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored us with, be it mothers, being daughters, professionals, leaders, creators. It's also a chance to showcase being a Muslim woman and pursuing excuse me, pursuing our passions that sorry, it's not in conflict, and it can sorry, can I restart?
No,
It's also a chance to showcase. It's also a chance to showcase being a Muslim woman and pursuing our passions. It's not in conflict with one another, and that we can express it in a beautiful manner.
I ask this similar kind of question to everyone that comes on the show. And seeing the different, answer that everyone gives me is so incredible, because some people take it from like, a history point of view, a political point of view. And I really love that you took it from an Islamic point of view, because if we really do look back, women did incredible things. We can take two of like the easiest people, Khadija radiallahu anha, Aisha radiallahu anha, that did such incredible things, and have shaped the ummah today, have shaped the world today, really. We talk about the first universities and things like that. It was all women that did these things. So I really love that you came with the Islamic perspective to it, because at the end of the day, people see us as oppressed. I'm wearing my niqab, you got yours on today, and people will see us and they'll be like, oh, like, okay, like, you're oppressed. But okay, girl, no, I'm not. Thank you very much. And we need to, again, you see, being in these spaces, as how we just, you go in with your scarf, you're taking your pictures, and it just shows that no, we're not oppressed. This Women's Month was showing that women of all races, backgrounds, ethnicities, religions can do such incredible things. So, you know what? I love us, guys. Happy Women's Month, because we are doing such incredible, incredible things. Now, before we round up, I'm going to do a quick fire round with you, right? Sunrise shoot or sunset shoot?
Definitely sunset shoot.
Okay, DSLR or phone photography?
I love my DSLR camera, but if I'm going out with friends, I don't want to carry like a huge camera and, to take pictures. So I would say phone.
Okay, editing or shooting?
Definitely shooting. Editing is a pain, but it definitely refines my image to what I want it to be.
I can testify, I hate editing. I have so many YouTube videos sitting. I'm not going to edit them. I'm not doing it. Someone else can do it. Indoor studio or outdoor location?
I love outdoor lighting, so I would prefer outdoor.
And my last one, dream brand you'd love to shoot for?
I would say that any modest fashion creative brand would be someone that I would want to shoot. For example, Valenci scarves is one of my top. I would love to have them as a client. I'd also love to work with, aside from like fashion brands, I'd love to work with camera brands such as like Sony, Canon, to expand my fields in photography.
So Valenci, you heard, and Canon and Sony. I hope someone that has a connection, that has a contact, is watching the show. Let's get A'aliya to do her dreams, inshallah. Jazakallah so much for joining me, A'aliya. I absolutely loved our conversation, and I wish it could have been longer. But you know what? I'm gonna find you in Durban, and I'm gonna come and we're gonna have a little matcha and everything, and we're gonna have a good conversation, inshallah. And I'm gonna tell everyone what we spoke about, because but Jazakallah so much for joining me. To the viewers, thank you so much for listening. And if you're watching the live, thank you so much for watching. We will go on a break and we'll be back with our next guest. Jazakallah.